Hey Nick, I watched your first video about memes and I posted a comment where I asked you to further explain what it could be in mimetic evolution that acts as um, a mechanism of selection. In biological evolution, we say natural selection accounts for how species or genotypes, if we want to use Dawkins' selfish gene perspective, genotypes are selected by the environment based on their fitness. And fitness is a vague word. It assumes a lot of things, but basically it's not difficult to see that organisms that find food better, run faster from prey, are better at attracting females and reproducing, will be more fit than organisms that don't do these perform these functions as well. So genotypes that are more fit survive. Genotypes that aren't are selected, uh, basically by being brought to extinction, and evolution proceeds. When we get to the cultural realm, though, um, trying to understand what the mechanism of selection might be for memes is a bit difficult, because by and large, you're right that most of our ideas and um, our ways of interacting with each other culturally either survive or go extinct based on the milieu in which they are expressed. Human beings like to imitate each other, especially now that we have all this um, communication communications technology, uh, like TV, the internet. Um, we basically have a mass culture in the sense that we all imitate the celebrities that we see on TV and we act in similar ways. We use this, similar slang. Um, and this would give you the impression that basically, yeah, cultural evolution is pretty much identical to biological evolution. It's just that the medium is the imitation of ideas rather than the replication of uh, DNA molecules. But how do we account for creativity? How do we account for the fact that what at one time are very unpopular ideas at a later time become the norm? How do we account for the huge shifts in human cultural behavior that have occurred throughout our history? Um, we are not the victims of imitation or memes. I don't think. Um, so regardless of trying to figure out what the actual selection mechanism is, um, I don't think you really explained that. I mean, you gave a possible account, but I don't think you succeeded. By saying that it's the milieu, the cultural context within which ideas are proposed that decides whether they survive or they die. Um, but even if that were true, we still have to account for how ideas that are completely in opposition to the norm somehow catch fire, uh, and people begin to accept them because they are, well, better. Um, they strike people as deeper. They have more insight into the nature of reality than the prior ways of thinking. Um, and so to me, it seems very difficult to get rid of the sense of human intent uh, when selecting cultural values and ideas to adopt. Now, certainly, you're right that most of the time we just imitate each other, um, monkey see, monkey do. But I, I am not willing to reduce all of human sociality and language and communication and culture to imitation. There is creativity. We can critique our culture and change people's minds in a way that's deeper than just trying to map uh, biological evolution on top of cultural evolution and see them as identical. I don't think this is intellectually honest or fair to do so. It's an oversimplification, and all it really does is demean um, humanity. And certainly there are aspects of our culture and our ideologies and our religions that need to be brought down to size. Um, and I certainly understand where you're going, Nick, with getting rid of this sense of the ego being the center of our consciousness that picks and chooses every little thing that it does. But we cannot just get rid entirely of the notion of human freedom. It's not a freedom irregardless of the determining factors of our biology and our social circumstances, but it is the ability to be creative, to find novel solutions to old problems. We can't just discount that this occurs. So, the meme, or the meme idea or theory is interesting, but I don't think it fits the phenomena. It certainly doesn't explain it, at least in my mind.